Hello, everyone. You're listening to Turtle Island News live with Tracy Kennedy. We have been warned about signs and wonders. And I'm laughing not because it's funny. I'm laughing because this Orwellian time space that we're in is getting so far off the chain that it's like a tragic comedy. It's like one of the Greek comedies. Now, human rights, which should be spelled RIGHTS, but is looking more like RITES, because we have to thank the UN right now. Saudi Arabia, the announcement of the appointment of Saudi Arabia at the head of the panel of the Council of Human Rights. Your hostess today does not believe that. But then, after thinking, after all that's going on in the world, it is just the order of things right now. Right in your face, they no longer give even one puck for the hockey fans out there. If they're not even hiding the crap they're doing, they're like, yeah, that's what we're gonna do. You know, if United States, creators and owners of Guantanamo, of the Abu Ghraib BS, the largest number of prisoners in cages on the entire friggin' world, can afford to regard themselves as a standard of human rights? Hey, why not, Saudi Arabia? Kill, starve innocent people, being considered now throughout the world as a violation, supposedly, of human rights. Except for the United States, which by itself starves and kills more people than all the countries combined. Now, to say that the United States is the pattern of human rights, I guess doesn't shock anyone. Why should we be shocked when it comes to Saudi Arabia? The Saudi head of the panel, the Council of Human Rights, is like the Nobel Peace Prize awarded to Barack Obama, one of the most vile in-war presidents America has ever known. This is the new standard in this Orwellian world. But this appointment may even have something beneficial. That may be the end of the rightism, who did so much damage in recent years in the world. As appearances were met, there was room for some hypocrisy, which allowed to exploit the good feelings. It will now be difficult to ignore. You cannot pretend this way. How would you listen without laughing to a speech by Saudi Arabia on human rights? The House of Saud, who I haven't even gone into this story, but I'm working my way up to it, is also where we get the Sith Lords from. The Republic, the end of the Republic, the guys in black. This is these guys. This is the axis of evil, one of the partners. This is these guys. So he's taking the lead. The council of the panel of the I can hardly even say it. I know I shouldn't even be laughing. UN Human Rights. So, for the people who've been listening for a while and realize that I read something into everything, so they have mastered the human domain and put the House of Saud in charge of human rights. As spelling go, and chants and rituals, I'm thinking, yep, perfect. Well done. So the ambassador of one of the most criticized countries on this planet, with recognizing status of women, minorities, dissidents, taking the head of the largest organization defending human rights on this earth. Now, according to an official information of the UN, the ambassador of Saudi Arabia in Geneva, Faisal Trad, was chosen to chair the panel of the Council of Human Rights from its 30th session, which opened Monday, September 21st, Day of Reckoning. It's perfect. It could not be any more perfect. Now, according to rumors, the choice had already been decided in June, but kept secret until now for reasons unknown. Because it's so screwed up. It gets even better, though. The main purpose of the panel of the Council of Human Rights is to appoint five officials who enact international standards, choose people who will occupy more than 77, interesting number, keep that in your head, relating to the defense of human rights in different regions of the world, and to inform them about violations on these human rights. This choice has been strongly criticized by the international community. Apparently some of them have still working brains in their heads, which is a shock to me. But they've always opposed countries which are not renowned for their scrupulous respect of attaching to human rights access to such an important position, you would think. It is outrageous that the UN has chosen a country that has executed more people this year to chair a panel of human rights. Oil, dollars, politics, yeah? This is what they have. Now, amongst the violations of the most insane human rights violations by Saudi Arabia, there was the arrest of a writer and a blogger, Raif Badawi. I think that's really close. Now, in 2012, his liberal statement on his website, Free Saudi Liberals, caused his arrest, his sentencing. He was sentenced to receive 1,000 lashes for insulting Islam. Now, his wife always attempts to obtain his release, and had no success, of course. She even said on his Facebook page that the appointment of Faisal Trad was a green light to the continuation of flogging of her husband. Vicious people, vicious violations, and now this is the guy in charge of peace. He will decide peace on this planet. So my native brothers and sisters who have stepped up and think they're going to the UN for some justice, justice just got hard and nasty. Now, continuing, something that came up, and I realized some of these things because I was sent this. USA Today did this new dislike button thing, It was satire. But Facebook released new information on its planned dislike button into users' posts. It will be likely greeted with ambivalence. It appears that the dislike button will not just be for show, though, but it will be in fact functional, affecting any post that reaches a certain threshold of dislikes received. The number being kind of bandied about by Zuckerberg and Facebook developers at the moment is 10. And receiving 10 dislikes on your wall will result in Facebook's algorithms being, of course, fed to the never-ending Jade Helm. Officially, she is compiling, but she's in control of everything. Removing the post as being potentially disruptive and upsetting to fellow users. Now, yesterday, we had an incident happen on Skype, which, if you use Skype, you've probably heard of. What happened? We could not get on Skype yesterday. There was a massive attack. This was worldwide. And I do have something interesting about it that you can watch what's going on right now, because it's ongoing. The Skype outages are a symptom of Microsoft's servers under attack. So there is a real-time attack going on with the grandstand of an ongoing cyber warfare. So if you go to my page, there's a Norse attack map. Interesting that it's named Norse. Now every second, Norse collects and analyzes live threat intelligence from darknets in hundreds of locations, over 40 countries. The attacks shown are based on a small subset of live flowing against the Norse honeypot infrastructure. Take a look. It's interesting who's getting attacked and why. The why is always complicated. But the things that are going on are obviously not a coincidence, because we're about to walk into such a mega ritual. Now on September 24th, and today is the 22nd. Told you this was going to be a big week. September 24th, 2015, fall equinox. The height of the fall, the top of the spinal cord. Pope Francis will be the first pope to speak before the U.S. Congress. The sun will align on top of the Washington Monument on that day. Its shadow will stretch to touch the U.S. Capitol dome, symbolically connecting heaven and earth together. So, we would think, we would hope, nothing happens then. But it's sure rolling out to something, isn't it? When we have these things, these lineups, we have Hillary Clinton, of course, and Carly Fiorina. Let's just look at what the numbers tell us. And this matchup actually could be deadly. They are 322 in gematria. This is Skull and Bones. This is the Brotherhood of Death. Probably nothing. But it's interesting that Trump peaked at 32% as well. He's been involved, and you gotta just love Skull and Bones and their images. Now, I'm amazed at some of the things that you can find out with a little bit of research, and I have to admit that I blew my own mind. Now, it was a slide from a few years ago, but it's extremely relevant this week.